Hi guys, I recently saw the 80s vampire classic The Lost Boys for the first time. Yeah, I don't know why it took me so long, but after seeing it, I realized that for me, 3 vampire movies stand out as my favorites in this horror subgenre. And I'd like to share them with you. As a young kid, I remember seeing some old Dracula movie or something on TV, and it was quite fascinating. There's something mysterious about vampires, these supernatural creatures of the night. They're seductive, they look scary, and there are rules to keep in mind. So with that introduction, have your garlic close at hand, cause here are my top 3 picks. Number 3. The Lost Boys. Yes, as mentioned, I recently watched this for the first time, and yeah, I get why it's considered a classic. It's got an undeniable 80s vibe with lots of style. The story involves a dirtbike riding vampire gang with the leader David, well played by Kiefer Sutherland. They try to recruit Michael, played by Jason Patric, who just moved to California with his family, and now it's up to Michael's brother Sam, played by Corey Haim, to save him. He's assisted by 2 young vampire hunters called the Frog Brothers, one of them portrayed by Corey Feldman, and they add some charm and humor to the movie. I like that it never gets dull or boring, and there's a good balance between comedy and scares. It's a reasonably well acted, maybe not Feldman's best performance in my opinion, but I'm glad he's in it. Everything builds up to a violent final showdown in the 3rd act with a twist reveal as well. The effects are great, and overall, a very good vampire movie.
Another budding chef in the family.
Are you all right?
No, it's not cheese, it's garlic.
But you hate garlic, don't you?
No, I like garlic. It's just a little much. It's raw garlic.
Garlic? How did that happen?
Alright, number 2, From Dusk Till Dawn. Written by Quentin Tarantino and directed by Robert Rodriguez. That's enough to know that this is probably gonna be violent, entertaining, and awesome. The first half of the movie plays out like a standard Tarantino crime thriller with great dialogue, captivating characters, and suspenseful moments. The Gecko brothers, portrayed by a charismatic George Clooney and Tarantino himself, are bank robbers heading to Mexico with a kidnapped family in an RV. Seeking refuge at a Mexican strip club, the movie totally changes. As it turns out, the bar is populated by vicious vampires, and now they have to fight them to break free. The action from here on out is fast-paced and over-the-top in typical Rodriguez fashion. The effects are mostly good, the CGI stuff look a little hokey at times, but it works. Harvey Keitel and Juliette Lewis give great performances, and overall this is a unique and fun vampire movie.
Welcome to slavery.
No thanks. I already had a wife. From dusk till dawn.
Alright, and now for my number 1, Fright Night. Yes, another 80s classic that has stood the test of time, well directed by Tom Holland, who clearly understands the genre. Honestly, this movie has everything. A great story, likable protagonists, amazing practical effects, a charismatic villain, and the 80s charm. The plot centers around teenager Charlie Brewster, played by William Ragsdale, who suspects that his neighbor, Jerry Dandridge, excellently portrayed by Chris Sarandon, is a vampire. Of course, no one believes him, so he seeks help from horror TV show host Peter Vincent, wonderfully played by Roddy McDowall, who is skeptical at first. This leads to a nice story arc for Peter, when he gradually turns into this great vampire killer he's supposed to be, after finally realizing Charlie is right. These two have a very natural chemistry. The comedy-horror balance is just right, and the whole film feels like a love letter to the old monster movies. It honors that legacy respectfully, and I love that. Also, the Rear Window theme with spying on the neighbor is right up my alley. So all in all, no competition for me. This is clearly my number 1.